Hello student, in last lecture we talking about the inflammation, what is actually meaning of inflammation and its sign, that is redness, swelling, pain, warmth and loss of function. So in this lecture we talking about the what actually happen during the injured site at the phase of inflammation. So in this lecture we talking about the phases happen during the inflammation at the injured site. First of all, we see the what is meant by the inflammatory response. Whenever we get injury at the skin or any part of body, the innate immune system start to get response against that injured site. So that is inflammation. So inflammation start with the vasodilation occur whenever vasodilation occur, the vessel's diameter get increased so that the permeability of the cells get increased, so that cells like blood vessels and phagocytic cell like neutrophils get exudated from that site. So leakage of plasma protein through the blood vessel occur at the injured site and the phagocytic cell like neutrophil to the site of inflammation. This phagocytic cell engulf the bacteria which get inside through that injured site, and this engulfment of microbe and dead material by the phagocytosis occur at the injured site to form the pus. So basically this phagocytosis occur due to for the destruction of microbes. So basically this inflammation having two main phases, that is early phase and late phase. In early phase, whenever we get injury, the early phase instant response occur at the injured site, maybe internal infection or external trauma. The inflammation process is start. So basically first that is start with the vasocontraction to decrease the blood flow. Whenever we get injured, we know that the blood flow continuously, so the vasocontraction decrease the blood flow at the injured site, so that the blood loss of blood is less. So basically it occur at the first in 10 minutes. We know that the at injured site, whenever we blood get outside from the body, the coagulation of blood is formed. So first of all, the whenever inflammation start, the vasocontraction is occur, and in late phase we see the tissue repair and regeneration. So let's see in detail so what actually happened during the inflammation. So in phase first, that is early phase inflammation, that is vasodilation. So chemical mediators are released whenever the injury occur at the skin or any part of body. The chemicals mediator are released, that is histamine, bradykinin, prostaglandin, serotonin. That these chemical mediators increase the vascular permeability to release the mast cells and blood platelets into the traumatized tissue. Means the cells, that mast cell and the blood platelets at the injured site get reached due to the vasodilation. So this mast cell then convert into macrophage which engulf the microorganism or any foreign material, so that the whenever the injured site occur, the bacteria get chance to get inside our body system. So for that, to prevent the entry of microorganism, the phagocytic cell engulf them at the injured site. So as of and secondly, that is fluid filter through the gaps into the extravascular space. This is called as exudation. So whenever the vasodilation occur, the diameter of blood vessel increase, so that the fluid of the blood get outside, that is plasma get outside at the injured site, and we see the swelling at the injured site. So the accumulation of excess fluid is called as edema or swelling. We see the phagocytic cell, blood platelets, and the fluid get accumulated in the injured site, which is called as edema or swelling. So vascular permeability due to action of histamine, short-lived and lasting less than 1 hour. So this vascular permeability live less than 1 hour. So basically this vasodilation or vascular permeability occur due to the these chemical mediators like histamine. So second phase, that is inflammation, lymphatic channel are blocked. So local lymphatic channel are blocked by the fibrin plug formed during coagulation. We know that the blood, to prevent blood loss, our body system co- coagulate the blood at the injured site. So it obstruct the local lymphatic channel to prevent the drainage of the fluid from the injured site, and thus the localizing the inflammatory reaction. So this is also the phase of inflammation which block the lymphatic channel to prevent the fluid loss from the injured site. So late phase, that is phagocytosis. So in early late phase, that is phagocytosis, the body cellular defense to remove the toxic material via lymphatic system. We know that what is meant by phagocytosis. So phagocytosis is a process when the leukocytes capture and digest the foreign matter and dead tissue. So they may be neutrophils, mast cell, dendritic cell, macrophage. These are the phagocytic cell which engulf the foreign material and destroy them. So this is the first line of defense in innate immune system. So for example, neutrophils, these neutrophils most abundant in 1 to 3 hours. Whenever we get injury, at the site of injury, neutrophils are the most abundant, because neutrophils are the phagocytic cell which engulf the bacteria or microorganism at the injured site. So phagocytic activity reaches maximum effectiveness within the 7 to 12 days. So this phagocytic activity occur till the collagen formation occur. So because the pathogen get entered easily through that injured site. So for that, to prevent the entry of this pathogen, this phagocytic cell remain that site maximum at 7 to 12 days to engulf them and destroy them. So second line of defense, that is monocytes. So monocyte which convert into the large cell which is called as macrophage, and macrophage is responsible for the phagocytic process, that is engulfment of foreign material and dead tissue. And the lymphocyte consume large amount of bacteria and cell debris. These monocytes are critical in the initiation of tissue repair because they attract the fibrocyte. First of all, monocytes are converted into macrophages to engulf the microorganism, and secondly, initiate the tissue repair because they attract the fibrogen. Fibrogen are the factor of body system which responsible for the tissue repair, because whenever we get injury, our tissue get damaged, so that body have to repair that site, and this monocyte is essential for the initiation of tissue repair because they attract the fibrogen at the injured site. So basically during phagocytosis, the end product is pus. So it contains the lymphocyte, dead tissue, phagogenic material, which are the phagocytosized by the cell. So prolonged pus accumulation can prevent the fibroplasia, which begin in the wound healing. So pus formation is essential for the regeneration of the tissue. So fibroblasts are connective tissue is responsible for the collagen synthesis, ligament, joint, capsule, tendon, and osteoblastilla responsible for bone formation. So fibroblasts are responsible for collagen synthesis. We know that at the injury site, tissue get rupture, and this tissue have to repair. So these fibroblasts are the connective tissue, and these tissue are responsible for the collagen synthesis, ligament synthesis, and joint, capsule, tendon. So these fibroblasts synthesis collagen, ligament, joint, capsule, and tendon, which repair the damaged tissue, and osteoblasts are responsible for the bone formation. So phase first, early phase inflammation, that is migration. So when trauma occur, the endothelial wall is disturbed, exposing collagen fiber and create stickiness. So whenever the injury site occur or injury occur at the body of organism, the endothelial wall is disturbed and exposing collagen fiber to create this stickiness. Because this stickiness is essential to prevent the entry of microorganism in the body of organism. So at the injured site, WBC concentrate in the injury site to rid of the body of foreign substance and dead tissue. This WBC are responsible for the fight against the microorganism which get inside through the injured site, and these are responsible for the engulfment of microorganism or foreign material at the injured site. So they concentrate at the injured site to remove this microorganism from the injury. So late phase migration, in which the as the circulation slows, the leukocyte migrate and adhere to the wall of post capillary venules. So at the injury site, the circulation slow down because the vasodilation, and these leukocytes migrate and adhere to the wall of the post capillary venules. So at the injury site, the veins which present at the near to the injured site, this lymphocyte or sorry leukocyte migrate and adhere to that post capillary venules, and this leukocyte pass through that wall of vessel and travel at the injured site, which is called as chemotaxis. So through the due to vasodilation, the permeability of vascular blood vessel is increased, so that leukocyte can easily get outside at the injured site and get adhere to that. The circulation slow down due to the vascular permeability and vascular dilation. And due to this vascular dilation, leukocyte migrate and adhere to the wall of post capillary venules at the injured site. And the leukocyte pass through the wall of vessel and travel at the site of injury to work as a phagocytic process. During phagocytosis, they engulf the microorganism and destroy them. So this process is called as chemotaxis. So in phase first, late phase, that is blood clotting. Blood clotting is essential to prevent the blood loss from the body of organism. So during blood clotting, the rupture vessel release the enzyme, that is factor X, and this factor X react with the prothrombin, which is free floating in the blood, and this thrombin then stimulate the fibrogen in its individual form, that is fibrin, and this fibrin group together to form the lattice around the injury site or injured tissue. This fibrin lattice contract to remove the plasma and compress platelets, forming a patch. So at the injured site, this fibrin group together to form the lattice around the injured tissue and prevent the blood loss through the body of organism. This fibrin lattice also contract to remove the plasma and compress the platelets, forming a patch at the injury site to prevent the blood loss and also prevent the entry of microorganism into the body of organism. So next phase, that is phase second, that is regeneration. So during regeneration, the replacement of destroyed tissue by the reproducing healthy cell adjacent to the wound. So during regeneration, we know that at injury site the tissue get damaged, so this damaged tissue replaced by the producing the healthy cell at the adjacent to the wound. Human capacity to regenerate tissue is limited, and this further affected by the age and nutritional tissue. We know that at a young age, our injury can be cured in a certain days, but at the old age, the injury are affected by the to old age, and also nutritional state responsible for the regeneration in body of organism. So stage of migration is responsible for the healthy tissue replacement of the damaged tissue. So stage start with the periphery. We know that injury site are recovered at the periphery first, then it get inside, and the all this injured site get regenerate. So, reepithelialization is proliferation of peripheral epithelial tissue which then migrate to wound until the area is covered. So, reepithelialization means the skin is all covered with the epithelial cell to form the intact cell at the injured site, and these occur till the area is covered of the injured site. So capillarization means the capillary buds proliferate and connect, forming new capillary, because capillary are also get damaged due to the injury, and this forming the new capillaries which give the red granular appearance to the scar. So due to the formation of capillarization at the injured site, we can see the red granular appearance to the scar, which is called as granular tissue. So during stage of regeneration, the fibroplasia occur due to the fibroblast, because they rise from the undifferentiated mesenchymal cell and migrate into the area along the fibrin strand and begin to synthesize the scar tissue. So at the injury site, this fibroplasia occur due to the fibroblast. So this fibroblast is essential to synthesize the scar tissue at the injury site, and this scar tissue mostly collagen and mucopolysaccharides. These fibrocytes secrete both, that is contributing tensile strength to the repaired tissue. So these fibrocytes are essential to formation of collagen and mucopolysaccharide, which contribute to tensile strength to the repaired tissue, and this scar tissue is very inelastic compared to the surrounding tissue. We know that our skin is elastic to at the normal site, but this scar tissue is inelastic at compared to the surrounding tissue. So in second phase, that is stage of regeneration, vascularization occur. So vascularization occurred because the capillary are get damaged due to the injury, and it occur with the proliferation of collagen synthesis, and this formation of blood vessel occur at the stage of migration, or sorry, stage of regeneration. So at the injury site, the vascularization are also occur, that is formation of blood vessel at the injury site. So collagen synthesis in phase second, that is collagen synthesis occur within the 12 hours of injury to 6 weeks, average 6 weeks. So the size of injury is responsible for the formation of collagen synthesis. So it may be to occur within the 12 hours of injury to 6 weeks. So type 1 collagen is associated with muscular tissue. They may be larger and stronger tissue, where type 3rd collagen tissue are smaller fibers, less cross-linking and highly disorganized. So type 3rd with the time replaced by the type 1 collagen. So first of all, at the injury site, the type 3rd collagen fiber form the smaller fibers and cross-linking at the injury site, and this type 3rd then replaced by the type 1st collagen fiber, which is associated with the muscular tissue, which is larger and stronger fibers. So this type 3rd collagen is then replaced by the type 1 collagen. So synthesis of collagen is occur for the healing of tissue, and this tissue healing take time approximately 3 weeks. So if muscle get injured, they get approximately 3 weeks, then tendon approximately get 4 to 6 weeks, and the extent of tissue damage and vascularity will aid the determining the healing timing. So whatever the injury occur at the site of body of organism, the size of injury are also responsible for the formation of this tissue or synthesis of collagen. So it depend on the injury of organism to form the new tissue at the injury site, and also the healing of tissue also depend on the age of organism. So phase second also having this stage of regeneration. So at the stage of regeneration, first stage, that is wound contraction. At the injury site, the wound are formed, and this wound contract begin at occur at the city as the myofibroblast, so which is actin rich fibroblast, which is a form of muscle, and they get contract at the wound site, and these myofibroblast move towards the center of wound, helping to reduce the size of area to be covered. So at the side of area, the wound contract due to the myofibroblast, which is actin rich fibroblast, and this contract the wound to seal the injured site and form the intact cell at the injury site. So they may be outside or inside wound contraction. So phase third, that is remolding and maturation. So the purpose of this phase is strengthen the repair tissue, fibroblast, myofibroblast and macrophage reduce to pre-injured stage, and type 3 fibrin continue to replace by the type 1 collagen. So remolding and maturation means the whenever we get injury, the injury get repair, and this maturation, that is strengthening the repair tissue, then fibroblast and myofibroblast macrophage reduce to pre-injured stage. The these fibroblast, myofibroblast and macrophage reduce at the injured site because injured site are regenerate and repair, so that the these cells or these tissue get replaced by the type 1 collagen. So type 3 fibrin continue to replace by the type 1 collagen because type 1 collagen is stronger, larger, and which is essential for the formation of intact cell at the injury site. So phase third, that is maturation and remolding, blend in the repair phase. So at the injury site, they start to repair phase and original collagen fiber were randomly oriented. So during remolding, the fibers become more organized and parallel to wound surface, which provide great tensile strength. So at the injury site, type 3 collagen is replaced by the type 1 collagen to form the remolding of the fibers, and these fibers become more organized. So collagen, type 1 collagen fiber is more organized and parallel to wound surface, which provide the great tensile strength at the muscle of injured site. So this provide the tensile strength at the injury site. So the type of tissue involved will determine the duration and extent of remolding activity. So it depend the time. So duration and extent of remolding activity depend on the type of tissue involved in the repair or remolding of tissue. So maturation and remolding, strengthening the scar tissue continue from 3 months to 1 year. So this scar, at injury site we see this scar, and this scar is replaced time to time. So it may be having time 3 months to 1 year, but fully mature scar is only 70% as strong as intact tissue. So basically some injury are never, so this fully mature scar having the less tensile strength compared to the normal tissue, and this due to this scar tissue the motion will also influence the structure and functional capacity of scar tissue, and this scar tissue also influence the motion or movement of organism. So and due to this scar tissue it control the stress, increase the functional capacity and allow healing and reduce the adhesion formation. So due to this scar tissue, the healing time or healing duration is increased, and which affect the functional capacity of organism. So that is for today. So in this lecture we talking about the phases of inflammation which is responsible for the curing of injured site. So that is for today. Thank you.